Welcome to the Veesus presentation for our newest offering called Zappcha. Just a bit of housekeeping before we get started. This is being recorded. It will be available for everybody tomorrow. It will be sent to you tomorrow who's online. And if you get any questions during the presentation, I'm going to keep it quite short, be about half an hour in duration. If you do get any questions, please just type them into the questions section on the panel on Zoom, and a couple of our guys are there ready to answer those questions. If they can't answer them or they need just discussing after the presentation, we can have an open forum discussion at the end. You will be muted during this, just so I can go through the presentation and keep it as on time as possible. But like I say, please use the Q&A section on the Zoom panel. Okay. I'm going to do a quick presentation, 2 slides to explain what Zappcha is and what you'll be looking at, and to go through a sort of a basis of the app and the web services that we've developed as part of Zappcha, and we'll look at some workflows that you could use. Then I'm going to step into some demonstrations, and I'll be switching screens during the demonstration. I'll be showing an iPad, an iPhone, and I'll be showing the data in some of our desktop applications as well. So there'll be a bit of chopping and changing between the screens that are being shared, because there's a few of us doing this demonstration. Okay, so just bear with us during that process. But hopefully it'll show you what the application does. And hopefully you'll see the technology, and if we have any hiccups with the screen sharing, that won't be our doing. Okay, so my name's Mark Escott. I've been working with Veesus for the last 10 years, and we have a pedigree in visualization of point cloud data. Our initial, when we founded the company 10 years ago, our initial idea was to make point cloud data viewable, exploitable, and shareable to anybody on standard computing equipment. So we have a pedigree in that visualization, and massive point clouds was the basis of that. All of our products we have right now use that engine that we developed very early on, and we have now ported it to something else. Okay, so what is Zappcha? Well, firstly, it's an app. The app is available to people who have an iPhone 12 Pro for the capture. So you can go off and capture data with an iPhone 12. Okay, it is also a cloud service. So it's not just an app, it's not just a cloud service, it's both of those things. And the visualization of the data can be done on the actual phone itself, or it can be done on older versions of the iPhone, so from version 8 upwards. So the capture is only iPhone 12, the visualization is any iPhone from 8 upwards. So once the data is in the cloud, you can share it to other devices, such as the Samsung or any other mobile device itself, as well as view it in a web browser. This is done using the Poetry network. However, the iPhone is using our app to do that visualization. Okay, and we also have our desktop applications. So we have point clouds for Rhino, Arena 4D, and point clouds for SolidWorks. All use our engine to view the point cloud data. And because of that, they can all view the data that's been held within the cloud service. We're looking quite hard in the future at embodying the engine into other devices and other software, desktop applications and apps, so they can talk directly to the cloud service as well. So third-party software is something we're looking quite deeply into. Also, it's not just about the iPhone capturing, although that is a big part of where we started looking at this technology, but you can also share data from other devices once they are converted into our file format, and they can be put on the cloud service too. So it's a complete platform of applications, from desktop applications to mobile applications, and a cloud service. So there's many uses for this this cloud service we're looking at now, and hopefully they come out as we progress through the evolution of what we're doing with the iPhone. One thing we do like, and that is feedback from people who use this and see this in terms of real world scenarios and using the application and how they would use it in their workflow. We're very open to looking at how it currently works and how we can improve that in the future. So any suggestions you may have and how it may help your workflow, not just the application itself on the iPhone, but also the cloud service, we're very open to listening to what that is. And we very often change the software and change our services based on people's actual needs, not something we may have thought up in our own heads. Okay, so that's the only slide I have. I'd like to just go straight into showing you the app on the phone now. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to share the screen on the iPhone. Okay, so hopefully you should be seeing the iPhone screen now. Okay. Okay, so you can see on my screen here, we have the Zappcha app. This is fully downloadable from the App Store. And if I click it, there are 3 pages you can look at. The first one is the login. So the home page has a login page on it. And if you don't have an account, you can simply click on the scan button and you're off and running. You can scan without having an account. However, the account is free. You get 1 GB of storage in the cloud service, and you can sign up from this page here. So I'm going to log in here because I'm going to upload a point cloud in a second. And once logged in, I'm just going to flick across to the scan page. I'm going to stand up for this activity because I'm going to do a quick scan in the office. There are very few options on this to keep it nice and simple. The low and high rate of capture. The low rate is 3,000 points captured per frame, and the high rate is 20,000 per frame. We're looking at increasing that in the future, possibly to anything up to about 100,000 points per frame, but we need to look into the logistics associated with that. So I'm going to click on high range, high rate, sorry, and high range. High range is based on the confidence of the return of the data to the phone. So it makes a determination internally as to whether it's a good capture or not. So I'm going to put them both on. And what I'm going to do, this is our office. We have a few guys in today, and I'm just literally going to do a quick scan. So I click the go button and just turning around. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, there's 3 and 4 people in the office today. So just going around, you can see the capture, and I can pause it anytime I like. So the pause button there, you see it's turned red. And that is really useful if somebody decides to walk across your path, which happens quite a lot during scanning, as we all know, and unpause it, and you can carry on capturing. There's also a torch on and off feature, which allows you to capture data in low light levels. Okay, so that was quite quick. I haven't been particularly careful on trying to get an amazing looking scan here. If I was, I'd walk around a bit, but I'm tethered to my laptop because of my headphones. So this is the scan data on the phone itself. So I can just look at that, move around looking at that. Okay, and okay, so I'm now uploading the data to the Zappcha Cloud Services. So the app has basically captured the data. It's converted it into a Veesus point cloud format straight away, and it has allowed you to view it immediately on the phone. And I've then shared it directly up to the cloud service. So if I then go to the 3rd tab on the phone here, you can see I have a list of point clouds here. Some are on the cloud, which are depicted by the small cloud icon to the left-hand side of the file name, and some are on the phone. They're at the bottom here. So, but you can go between the two using the buttons at the top of the phone. Okay, I can load any of these on the phone, and I'll show you some of those in a second, but we'll use the iPad for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop sharing the iPhone, and I'm going to move across to somebody else's computer who will have up some desktop software that they can now access the data which I have just captured. So we're now on a different screen completely. This is a different computer, and we have Arena 4D open. There's a Zappcha tab just up there in the left-hand corner, and we can log into our Zappcha account and click login. And yep, successful login. And you should now be able to click on the cloud icon, and you will see the VPC files that are in the cloud service right now in Zappcha. So Office Demo is what I called it when I uploaded just 2 minutes ago. And you can click open on that. And we're now looking at the data which I just captured on the phone in Arena 4D. Okay, so if we just zoom down to an area mark, that would be fantastic to see where we are. Okay, so if I was doing this properly, I would take a lot more care over the actual scan itself. But you can see the capture has been made, and I've shared it instantaneously to the cloud, and the person in the office, because I may have been off site, has basically come in and got to grips with the data and is using it straight away. Okay, see the team's very happy to be in the office today. Okay, so coming out of Arena 4D, let's go into one of our other desktop applications. And we have Rhino, point clouds of Rhino here. Again, there is a Zappcha tab, so click on that. We won't do the login again, just click OK. Okay, so we're just going to load up Rhino again. And here we are in Rhino with the office data as well. And we can do a quick slice down some of this data just so you can see what we're looking at. Okay, so very quickly somebody can start exploiting the data that we've captured with this device. Okay, so that's that. You could get a floor plan out of that quite easily. And the last thing we can show if we close down Rhino is the Point Clouds for SolidWorks plugin, which again has a Zappcha tab. We can log in again and we can load up that same data again. I mean, so often the nature of point clouds becomes quite cumbersome in terms of moving it around and actually getting it to the person who needs it. With this, you don't get that. You can be out on site with the iPhone in this case, or you could have another scanning device. You can convert the data out on the in the field, upload it, and then the person in the office is working straight away. They're not waiting for you to come back to the office to share the data. You can start straight away. Okay, that's in SolidWorks. So that's our 3 desktop applications. And like I said earlier on, we're going to be looking quite hard at the next plugin that we are going to create to plug into other desktop applications. And also we'll be looking at making our SDK available to companies who want to use our SDK to visualize the point cloud data within their own applications, which will make this even more powerful in terms of a tool for those people to use. Okay, so looking back at the screen now, we've got we're on the Zappcha.com website now, and you can see at the top we've got the App Store. You can download the app if you need to. If you scroll down, you can see the pricing options, and there's a quick video there. And the pricing options, like I say, there's a free 1 gig data storage limit for people who want to just log in and try this and use this. That's quite a that's quite a lot of storage for nothing, so it's worth giving it a go. Okay, so if we just log in again to the cloud service, if you've started a subscription, you can then see your own data in this. So this is the same list of data that we can see on all of the applications you've just seen, so our desktop applications plus the app itself, but on the website. So we can literally go in here and add things to this if we need to. So we can, if I had a point cloud on my desktop converted to VPC already, I can drop it into the window and upload that. So shop.vc is uploading right now. Okay, if we just close that, that then appears at the bottom of this list. So we have another VPC file in there. If we click it, we can then view it. Now this is using Poetry to view it on a web browser, but it's a very quick way of being able to view the data that you've just uploaded. This is clearly not from the iPhone. This is from a vehicle-based mobile system. Okay, but that again is streaming directly from the cloud services. Okay, so if we stop sharing that screen, I'm going to move across now to the iPad itself. Somebody else is using the iPad. Okay, so if you share your screen, Sean. Okay. So we're now looking at the iPad screen, and again we have the Zappcha login screen. So if you can log in, Sean, I think you've already done that. We can go along to the Explore tab. And again, you can see the shop.vpc in the Zappcha cloud, which Sean can open up on his iPad and then look at quite easily in the same way that we just did in the Poetry web browser interface. So in terms of moving this data around, that's one thing that I certainly used to struggle with in the early days of point cloud data. Copying this data from disk to disk, from data stick to data stick, or even off a computer to another computer was so cumbersome and so tricky. Just doing what we've done so far today emphasizes the importance of having a simple way of sharing it. Okay, so if you close that down now, Sean, something else I'd like to just go into now. We've got a point cloud on here called Millau. It's one of the viaducts in Europe, and it is a large point cloud. So this is viewing a 1.5 billion-ish point cloud captured with a mobile device again, streaming it from the, no, this is on the actual device itself. It's viewing it in the app on the iPad. One thing I was asked so many times over the last 10 years of presenting Veesus products is, can you view that on a mobile device? And until now, I've said yes-ish, but it would require the use of the Poetry interface in a web browser on that mobile device. Using our app now, you can literally load the point cloud and use it in the same way you can use it on the desktop application. And this is a very big point cloud. So Sean's moving around quite quickly in this, and it's it looks fine. It's usable. Okay, so that's showing the size of the data that can be viewed inside the app itself. On that note, just coming back to the capture itself. Initially, when we created the app, we had to start and stop captures during any walk around. So if we're walking around our office building, we'd start the capture, we'd need to stop it because the memory was saturated, process, and then we'd need to start again, which means there was a stitching requirement for the software. We've now modified the software to allow us to capture massive point clouds now. So we're up to about 100 million points per capture. And what you're looking at now on the screen, we've now cut back to Mark's screen. This is our office building. So these are the corridors in our office building. This was one single capture using the iPhone. So this was literally walked around and paused to walk through doors and to stop people walking in front of us in literally 5 minutes. So 100 million points capture on an iPhone is pretty impressive, and it's going to get better because we're modifying the software all the time. Okay, so nice scan data. Thanks, Mark. So I'm just going to share my screen again. Okay, so that demonstration, although fairly brief, it really emphasizes the capture from any device, the sharing it to a cloud service in a streamable way. Our VPC format, as some of you may know, because I recognize some of the names on this webinar, has been compressed to the point where it's lossless in terms of any data that may have been in the original format, but it allows it to be streamed very efficiently. So we are streaming data from that cloud service and sharing it to all these devices and all these places very, very quickly to be used. And that until now hasn't really been possible. There's some other people doing capture data on the iPhone, which is great, which is really good. And there are many different scanner manufacturers, obviously putting together LiDAR and photogrammetric capture capabilities, and they can all stream to this cloud service, ready to be used elsewhere. So please contact me if you have any further questions on that email address, or would like to know more about what we're looking at in the future for Zappcha. Okay, thank you.